Before we start, I want to make a quick comment on the mistake people have been making when commenting on my video How to Clean a Scratch Disk. This is called the red ring of death. This is called the ring of death. Red ring of death, ring of death. You can also call it a laser burn, whatever, but a lot of people call this the ring of death. Red ring of death, ring of death. It's not the magenta ring of death. It's not the lavender ring of death. It's not the blue ring of death. It's the red ring of death. Kind of like very and very. They mean different things, but yet they sound the same. So, yeah. So here we have a basic layout of a CD. I know there's a difference between DVD-ROM, CD-ROM, and actually the metallic reflecting layer might be a bit closer if there's more information. Yes, those are all factors you can factor in. But this you're seeing right here is a basic layout of a disc and how it works. You have the label, you have the protective coating between the label and the metallic bump layer, and you also have a polycarbonate layer between the bottom of the disc and the metallic bump layer. And as you know, this is basically the same way how old record players work. The needle would go along the bumps in the record and it would play the sound from the bumps, and we've just basically did a slightly modernized version with lasers. So now you know how that works. Now let's see what happens if you have a scratch in your disc. As you see here, I made two little simulated scratches in the disc. As you can see here, it's only in the polycarbonate part of the disc. When the laser goes along, it bumps, as in the laser has a shorter distance to travel through the polycarbonate, and it detects that as a problem, and that's why it skips and your disc reader cannot read it because it's an abnormality. That's why in my How to Clean a Scratch Disc video, I recommended the car wax, is because like in car wax, it goes over the small little nicks, filling it in. So when you use a wax to fill it in, now making the distance, the laser has to travel through the polycarbonate the same throughout the entire disc, so your disc reader does not sense an abnormality. And that's how it is with most people, is that only the polycarbonate of the disc has been scratched, so when you use the wax to fill it in, that now there's a consistency that the laser can go through, making it seem normal again. But if you're watching this video because my instructional video did not work, you're probably guessing why. Sometimes you get a scratch so deep it actually goes to the recording metallic layer. And when you do that, you are essentially erasing that data. That data you scratched off and is no longer there. And when there's no data to read, you cannot read that data and thus not play the game. So for some of you that this is not working, this is most likely the case. As you can see with my crude little cut there, is that with a deep scratch, that information is now missing and you can no longer play the game. And in that case, there's nothing you can do except buy a new game. And there we go, is that if you're watching this video because my instructional video did not help you, is that most likely your scratch is so deep it actually went into the metallic recording layer, the bump layer that I called it, is that information is now gone, and most likely you cannot play the game or only select pieces of the game that do not use that section in which your cut has cut that information out. So, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope not to see you in my next video, if I do in fact make another video.